Labor's leadership drama continues to dog Julia Gillard, with one of Kevin Rudd's key backers springing to his defence tonight in a move likely to heighten tensions within the ALP caucus. Senator Doug Cameron's comments come after a day in which more of the Prime Minister's supporters took issue with Kevin Rudd's ambitions. Political correspondent Tom Eagleton reports from Canberra.
Julia Gillard's sure she's got caucus behind her.
Right, so we're off to do some maths.
And wants Kevin Rudd to know it.
Good morning, Prime Minister.
As the Prime Minister goes about her job, behind the scenes,
You're adding things up?
numbers are being counted.
What's it called? Number busting.
And Kevin Rudd's being reminded he's lacking the support to beat her.
If anybody is not a happy little Vegemite, they ought to go find something else to do.
The public threats against the Foreign Minister are mounting.
He has said he's not challenging. He needs to clearly make further unequivocal statements and support for the Prime Minister. That, I believe. And indeed, those people who are acting on, or say they're acting on his behalf, because he refutes that, must assist.
As Minister O'Connor said, disunity is death, and we're hemorrhaging votes in Queensland here at the moment because of this disunity.
Hello, hello.
The Prime Minister's mostly staying out of the trenches, except to confront Labor MP Darren Cheeseman, who called for her resignation on the weekend.
Look, I did speak to Darren yesterday, and that's a private conversation, and I'll keep it private.
While Kevin Rudd and his supporters are being attacked,
the Prime Minister has my full support. She always has had.
Julia Gillard's supporters are being encouraged to go public, including one who was reported to be in Mr Rudd's camp.
In relation to each of those articles, not one journalist has asked me for my view.
He too gave unequivocal public support for the Prime Minister.
I don't know what I have to do to go beyond that. If it means getting a tattoo, I'd consider it. But somehow I think my wife might object to that.
As Julia Gillard rallies her forces, so too is the Rudd camp. Tonight, one of his key supporters has launched an attack on Simon Crean, who was the first to call for Mr Rudd to be sacked. Labor Senator Doug Cameron says that was a breach of cabinet solidarity.
I want the Labor Party to win the next election, and that means that we have to be disciplined, we have to stop all the nonsense that's going on at the moment, and we have to make sure that we stop running these character attacks on Kevin Rudd.
The Senator took aim at the calls for Kevin Rudd to be sacked, saying that would be at odds with the Prime Minister's position on Mr Rudd's performance.
She has said that Kevin Rudd's doing a good job. Bill Shorten has said that Kevin Rudd's doing a good job. So what's the basis of sacking Kevin Rudd? I don't see any.
And the Senator reminded Labor members it was Kevin Rudd that put the ALP back in power.
And I think a good Prime Minister like Julia Gillard has got some lead in her saddlebags because of the way that she came to power.
The opposition, meanwhile, is fanning the flames, seeing a change of Prime Minister as the quickest route to their goal of an early election.
Kevin Rudd will always be a difficult opponent. He proved that when he was Kevin 07. I expect that will prove that again when he's Kevin 013 or Kevin 012.
Well, Simon Crean, because of his experience, would be a much more formidable opponent than either Julia Gillard or Kevin Rudd.
Mr Crean's been responsible for most of the attacks on Kevin Rudd, but the opposition says that doesn't make him Julia Gillard's lieutenant.
I think we can be absolutely certain that he will be the compromise candidate between the warring factions that are completely besetting the Labor Party at this time.
That theory was put to Mr Crean yesterday.
Better theory, work with what we've got and get on with the task.
You'll lose the election.
I don't believe we will. I don't.
And so the saga of the Labor leadership takes another twist. Tom Eagleton, Late Line.